Hey everyone, welcome to Scene by Dawn. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie I, Tonya, starring Allison, Janney, and Margot Robbie. Now, does everybody remember the scandal when this actually happened? It was in 1993. I remember it very clearly because I was in high school at the time, nearly graduating. Please don't do the math. Okay, do the math. I'm like in my 40s. Tonya Harding was an extremely good figure skater. She was at the top of her game. She was having some discrepancies in her scoring from the judges because she just didn't fit the appropriate profile that figure skaters usually fit. Her costumes were a bit rugged. She herself was a bit rough as a person. Her background wasn't entirely polished. And she was skating better than the other girls, but she just didn't fit the right image. And so for this, she wasn't getting the right scoring. So then an attack happened on one of her competitors, Nancy Kerrigan. And people wondered what was going on, who actually did this, who could pull off such a horrible attack on somebody. And then it came out that her husband was involved, her bodyguard was involved, and then she was embroiled also in the entire scandal. Was she a part of it? Had she known about it? Was she part of the planning? At the time, in the media, she was completely scorched. She didn't do well in the media, and I remember hating her, and actually going into this movie, I still hated her. I was like, oh, well, I'll watch her story, but you know, she's not a very good person. But you know what was really interesting in watching this film is that my opinion of her, whether we actually got the real truth out of this movie or not, I'm not entirely certain that we did, but I came out having a different perspective on Tonya Harding than I had walking in, and that's because of her portrayal within the media, and she actually was unfairly portrayed. And I think at the end ended up getting a far harsher sentence than anybody else who was involved, and certainly those guys who carried out the actual attack. They got 18 months in jail, and she got banned from anything to do with figure skating for the rest of her life. That means coaching, that means competing, that means anything to do with the Figure Skating Association. She was banned for life. Allison Janney is incredible. There were some times in there when they did these like little interviews, and it was like this woman couldn't possibly be wearing this ridiculous fur coat and have a bird on her shoulder. Like, you know, I just thought it was a crazy setup. And then actually that was footage, real footage of actual interviews with Tonya Harding's mother. Like, oh, I think Tonya Harding's mom should really write a book on how to verbally abuse and berate your child to success.
I made you a champion, knowing you'd hate me for it. That's the sacrifice a mother makes.
He cursed me.
That's her gift. Allison Janney deserves any award that she gets for playing this role for the Best Supporting Actress, because she definitely did an amazing job. Margot Robbie is exceptional. There's this one scene where she's just staring into the camera and it's just her face and just a myriad of emotions that she communicates during that scene. No words are spoken, it's just her face. It was stunning. Like, Margot Robbie has this way of just grabbing onto a character, believing in it 100%, regardless if she actually personally believes in the person's story or not, but she believes in that character and she stands behind that character 100% in order to bring it to the screen with as much authenticity and commitment as possible. And I just love that about Margot Robbie. I love the way that this movie brought the story forward, because a lot of documentary style kind of movies, they get a bit heavy or a little dragging in that they're trying to bring information into dialogue so that they can expand the story, so they can give more information about what's going on or insight into the characters. And the dialogue ends up feeling really forced. And I found in this one, I really like the creativity of putting the monologues within scenes. So like Tonya is shooting a gun at her husband, and then she turns to the camera and goes, "This never happened.
I never did this."
And so like, it's an insight into like the craziness of their relationship, her deniability all the time about any of that ever happening. Just insights like that, where it's like a short little sentence, but it gives a lot of insight into who Tonya is as a person, the nature of her relationship with her husband, her passion for figure skating, just wanting to be somebody and for her talents to be recognized for what they were, regardless of what her image is. I definitely do sympathize with her a lot more than I did going in, and understanding who she is as a person, her background, And maybe she didn't know anything about it, but I definitely have a much different view of her now having watched this film. And who knows, like everybody has their own truth, right?
Come on! What kind of friggin' person bashes in their friend's knee? Who would do that to a friend?
I give this film a B. I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. Margot Robbie, stunning. I thought the handling of the story was really creative. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like figure skating and competitions. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that little bell so you don't miss out on anything that I've seen. Scene by Dawn.